Okay, here we go. We are back. And hello,
Welcome
everybody.
to
Good
Bright
afternoon.
Horizons
With Deb Colella, Jim
and Jim
Chiaffi, and
Shelby.
our most special guest,
You see a face
Franklin
here named
Morrow.
Frank Morrow.
Hello.
Yay. Oh, we're happy to have you, Frank.
I want to show this book,
Do you see it?
Some Enchanted
Okay.
Evening. I love the
Some
title.
Enchanted Evening.
Well,
I took my book as well. I love it.
right. Based on the song from South Pacific, where people in my age group, I don't know about you guys, but my age group remember the song is "Some Enchanted Evening, you'll see a stranger across a crowded room, and you will know."
Yes.
And that's how Jerry and I met 38 years ago. Exactly how we met.
It's wonderful.
Beautiful story.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about that evening?
Well, it was at Regine's in New York, which at the time was a very famous discotheque when discotheques were hot on Park Avenue and 61st Street.
Oh, yeah.
And I was there for a Julio Iglesias opening night party.
Mm-hmm.
And for anyone who knows Regine's or remembers it, when you first walk in, there are tables for dining and a bar to the left. And if you keep going straight, there are 3 or 4 steps going into a disco, and there's a large disco in the back. Now, we were at Iglesias' party, and we were at a very long table. There must have been maybe 20 of us. And I appropriately was sitting on the very end of the table, so if I turned my head, I could see into the disco, which worked out perfectly as far as the story's concerned.
Yes, it was fate.
Right. I go down into the disco, and I'm dancing with a woman from our table. And across a crowded room, Jerry's eyes and my eyes meet. And we meet, and we both smile at each other. And I'm just struck, okay? So we dance and turn and swirl in this, and maybe a minute or two later, our eyes meet again, and we both smile at each other again. Now, the old story, DOA. I was DOA on the spot, right? I go back to the table, and I tell my friends at the table, I'm in love. My cousin Joan from California was sitting next to me, and she says, "Love?" I said, "Yeah, but I really mean it." I said,
You really mean it.
I really mean it, yeah. It wasn't just, I want to be in love for one night kind of thing,
Yeah.
So I pointed out Jerry to my cousin, and she says, "Oh, she's beautiful." I said, "I know, but when we saw each other and smiled at each other, there was a feeling, something extraordinary, really." So anyway, I said, "But I have a problem. She's dancing with a guy." And it's, how do I get to her if she's with another man? As I was saying that, fate struck, and Jerry and this gentleman go back to their table, and there's another woman there. I said, "Oh, 2 girls and a guy is not a date." I said, "So let's see how this works out." He then asked the other lady to dance. So Jerry's sitting at the table by herself.
Perfect opportunity.
Perfect opportunity. And I just get up like Roadrunner, zoom, boom, and I go down the several stairs, and I go right to her table. And I must say, I had the courage to ask the question, but she was more courageous to give me an honest answer, because I know a lot of women would not under the circumstances. I walked over and I said, "Excuse me." She looked up at me, smiled, and I said, "Did you feel the same way I did when our eyes met?" And she said, "Yes, I did."
Wow, that was magical.
I get emotional even now.
Yes.
Oh, you could say that again. I'm like, I love it. I just love hearing that. It's wonderful. That doesn't happen often, believe me.
Right. And I sat down, and as I said, that was 38 years ago. And the story goes on from there.
It is unusual that a woman would respond that way. So
it took
That's what's crossing my mind, Jim, as a matter of fact.
What are you talking about? Or who are you? Or
right.
I mean, something. But she was brave and honest enough to say the truth. Yeah. "Yes, I did," she said.
Did that song
That's true. Most women would not. Right.
Did that song, Some Enchanted Evening, come into your mind almost right instantly, or?
No, it didn't. When I was, and I hadn't even thought of, obviously had not thought of writing a book because the book was 37 years later.
Right.
And in the sense of how we met and the words to the song, it made sense to me to title it
Yeah.
Some Enchanted Evening.
I just wanted to read a few of the other lyrics to the song I printed out here. The next verse is, some enchanted evening, someone may be laughing. You may hear her laughing across a crowded room. And night after night, as strange as it seems, the sound of her laughter will sing in your dreams. It's just beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Who can explain it? Who can tell you why? Fools give us reasons. Wise men never try. And then it goes on, some enchanted evening, when you find your true love, which you found,
Yes.
when you feel her call you across a crowded room, then fly to her side, which you did, and make her your own. For all through your life, you may dream all alone. Once you have found her, never let her go. Once you have found her, never let her go, which you never let her go.
And she never let me go.
Your chapter 1, serendipitous. Chapter 1, there you go. Serendipitous.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had to read it twice. It was fabulous.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful marriage. Not bragging in any way, because I'm
No,
sure
go ahead and brag. That's beautiful.
a
That's a
lot of
beautiful
people,
thing. No, brag, brag, brag. That's wonderful.
a lot of people have beautiful marriages. We
Yes.
certainly aren't alone. But the fact is that we still are really in love. I mean, I care about her every day, every minute, and she about me.
More today than you did yesterday, I'm sure.
There's of course, there's a part of the book toward the end of the book where Jerry was very ill. We can talk about that later, I guess. And that's when I wrote the book. So we can get to that whenever you want.
Yeah. It's interesting because during your time before you got married, there were obstacles, especially that accident when you.
Well, before that, I'll mention something which looking back, find humorous. In the book, I say I was engaged to a married woman because when I met Jerry, she had filed for divorce 3 months prior to that evening. So she had already filed for divorce. The paperwork was in, and it was just a matter of time till it was finalized. I was engaged to a married woman. We met in May. Her divorce became final in December of that year, which I drove her to the courthouse, of course. And
ran her to that courthouse. You ran there.
And then we were married in June of that next year of '89.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. So there were all kinds of obstacles. There always is, but that was I found a humorous obstacle that I was engaged to a married woman.
I did want to point out, and I'd like Frank to read the dedication and the prologue because they really are very meaningful. So would you be willing to do that?
I'd be happy to do it.
Okay. This is the dedication.
Okay, the dedication. I dedicate this book to my beautiful wife, Jerry, whom I will love forever and ever. And to all my friends and relatives, past and present, who contributed both pain and pleasure to my life. And to all those who have been saying for years, you should write a book. Okay. Maybe it's a time now, after saying that, to tell you when I wrote the book and how I wrote the book.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay. In the chapter at the end of the book, I talk about Jerry's illness. Now, Jerry's illness was quite accidental. She had, as many of us have, back pain. So she went to a pain therapist, and he recommended ablation, nerve ablations, which means putting these hot pins into your lower back, and they burn the tips of the nerve, and the nerve then cannot emit pain impulses, so you don't have the pain. Well, anyway, it seems, we don't know for sure, and we have not done anything about it, by the way, that one of the needles perhaps was not sterilized properly.
Mm.
So a few weeks later, she had terrible back pain, terrible back pain. It became so bad that we needed a walker in the apartment for her to help to walk around. They had scheduled an MRI. Well, not scheduled. You know, the insurance said, we're waiting for approvals and all that stuff. And 10 days passed and no MRI. And one morning I'm in the bathroom and I'm accompanying Jerry up and back wherever she is, because she's really frail at this point. She literally melts. I mean, just starts going down like she's melting. And I grab her under the arms, lay her on the floor, call emergency services. They take her to Palm Beach Gardens Medical Center, who did a great job, by the way. I'm recommending them. And as soon as she goes into emergency, they say, oh, no, she's going right up to urgent care, you know. So as soon as the doctor walks in, I say to him, she must have an MRI right now. We've been waiting weeks, and look at her. She's terrible, terrible pain, and she's hardly existing. So he agrees, puts her in there for an MRI, comes back a couple hours later and says she had an abscess on her spinal cord that burst.
Wow.
And the poison was all over. Oh, God. I mean, how she existed that long,
right?
They don't even know.
Yeah.
He said, we're going to call in a neurosurgeon immediately, and she needs immediate surgery. I said, absolutely. Now, the interesting thing about the neurosurgeon is it was Dr. Hirschman, who's a neurosurgeon. I had been to him the year before for a consultation, and he recommended a laminectomy to me. But you know what? I just, like a lot of people said, surgery, I don't know. But I checked his credentials, and I was very pleased with his credentials. He had a great education. He was a diplomat of this and a diplomat of that. So I felt very comfortable when they said Dr. Hirschman. He came in, we discussed it for a while, and he said, go home. I will call you when she's in recovery. I said, okay. I went home, 1 o'clock in the morning. He called and said, she's out of recovery. Surgery went well. He said, I spent most of my time vacuuming up all these poisons. He said she had three separate infections.
Wow.
She was almost gone.
Sure.
And anyway, so she's there I can't think of the name for the floor where you're, very, very ill.
Intensive care.
Intensive care, exactly. Thank you very much. So she's in intensive care, and I'm home every night. She's intensive care for 4 weeks.
Oh my God.
With tubes coming from all directions, because they're fighting 3 separate infections at the same time and keeping her alive and trying to feed her through a tube. She's not eating. And I'm home every night alone. And for whatever reason, I just sat down, started writing a book. I never wrote a book.
Therapy.
I never wrote. Yeah, maybe that's what it came to.
Yeah.
I never wrote a book before. I haven't written anything since, but I just sat and longhand started writing out page after page after page, and then putting it on the computer and just generating, again, pages and pages and pages, and starting, like the book's not about my life. The book's about the night Jerry and I met. That's where my life starts, in the book. So the book's about us and our experiences, and we've had some fabulous experiences, travel and people we've met and things we've done. We're very lucky to have had the life we had, and we're still doing really nice things.
Regarding Jerry's illness, I think sometimes love can cause someone to want to fight to live, which I think probably she did, because she didn't want to leave you. And, that's so deep into your soul that she really fought with all she had to survive that. Because, like you said, normally someone would have died. 3 infections in that body. And then
oh my goodness, I can't get over that. I mean,
she ended up being hospitalized for 2 months.
Wow.
4 weeks in intensive
Incredible.
care, 2 weeks in step
Incredible.
down, and 2 weeks to rehab because she could hardly walk when she came out of the hospital. She had to go to rehab. So for 2 months, I sat and I wrote, and it's all about us.
I did want to mention that Jerry was a model. Her career, she was a model.
I
So
saw
obviously, Frank, when he saw her,
Yeah, as I said, I was
Tall.
DOA. She was 5'9", 110 pounds, and a haute couture model in New York.
yes, yes.
And I knew nothing about that except our eyes met and we smiled, and that's all I needed.
And that's all you need. I love it.
I wanted to show our viewers a photo of her. I'm just trying to. I think I'll go to
Mrs. She was
how about this one?
Mrs. New Jersey. Well, you have the Mrs. New Jersey photo also. You can show whatever you want.
Where's the Mrs. New Jersey?
It's in here.
Okay.
If I can look for it, but it's in here.
But let me show you this one first, viewers.
Yeah.
She's stunning. That's Jerry.
And here's us on a magazine cover.
Yes.
We had our play in Palm Beach. We were on many magazine covers. We did 12 years. We were gala chairs for Palm Beach galas.
I met Frank and Jerry 14 years ago when they had chaired a wonderful charitable
There's another
fundraiser.
picture.
Yeah, that's the one I
Yes.
showed.
Oh.
Is this it here?
Yes.
This was when Jerry was in the Mrs. New Jersey pageant,
Miss America present.
Miss America pageant
Right.
as Miss New Jersey.
She's
So let's go to
beautiful. Beautiful.
Go to the preface because I'd like Frank to
Okay.
read that.
Now I hope I get through this because I do get emotional
Okay.
when I read my own book.
Oh, that's okay.
I get emotional.
Shows the kind of wonderful human being you are, the loving
Yeah.
and caring
Well,
gentleman
thank you.
are.
Very nice of you to say that.
Yeah.
It's the truth. And you cry if you have to. Don't you worry about it. It shows a beautiful part of you.
The book shares my journey with my beautiful wife, Jerry, a story filled with love, achievements, and and countless moments that define a lifetime. 36 years have passed since our hearts intertwined, and yet the flame of our affection burns as bright as ever. Within these chapters lie the narrative of our existence, enriched with the tales of grandeur and simplicity, joy and sorrow, triumphs and tribulations, from the illustrious heights of chairing charity galas in Palm Beach to the harrowing depths of hospital corridors, where Jerry faced the cruel hand of fate not once, but 3 times. Our shared adventures have taken us to far-flung corners of the world, each locale etching great memories upon our souls. Yet amidst such life experiences, there are moments of quiet reverence, such as the Inyoki ceremonies that bind us to tradition and family. But alongside the sting of loss, the passing of my beloved son David to COVID-19. Through it all, our bond has been stronger than ever. Ever since we tied the knot of matrimony, we have exchanged vows not once, but 4 different times.
Yes, I love that.
Each renewal reaffirming our commitment to one another. We invite you, dear reader, to walk alongside us as we traverse the landscapes of memory, navigating the twists and turns of a life lived fully and a love that continues and knows no bounds.
Beautiful. I'll tell you, it's the type of book that you don't want to put down.
No, absolutely. You know, it's
One
that's
chapter
why-
to the
yeah.
next. Yes.
Well, a few people told me that.
You're a
actually.
very talented writer, Frank.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Well, it's a feeling that I received as well when I read it. It was unyielding. It was the unyielding commitment that the two of you have. It was astonishing for the two of. It's a type of a book that not only did I read it physically, but I had to listen to it audio,
Oh.
and I love them both. And I plan on reading it again because it's really that good.
I recommend the book itself so you can see the pictures.
Oh, so the book I read first. I read the book first,
Okay.
and then I did the audio. And I'll just tell you, it's captivating, Frank. Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
We listened to about, I was 10 to 12 different voices before we picked out the person to do the audio. And I like his presentation.
Well, good.
Why don't you share with us the wedding and then the renewal of the vows, just a little bit so the viewers.
Okay, yeah. I mean, every aspect of everything we've done has always had some kind of drama. Whatever it was always drama. We had scheduled our wedding for June 18th of 89. June 18th was a special day. Number one, it was Father's Day. Jerry and I had both lost our fathers, so we were dedicating it to the 18th.
That's beautiful.
For Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
18 in Hebrew means life.
Oh.
Chai, the name Chai, like when they make a toast, they say l'chaim, to life.
Yes.
Well, Chai is the number 18.
Oh, okay.
So it had a lot of connotations,
yes.
right? And so we were getting married where we lived. We lived on 61st and 3rd Avenue in Manhattan, a building known as the Savoy. Beautiful, beautiful building. And they had a 4th floor terrace, a big outdoor garden with a gazebo. And we said, what a wonderful spot to have a wedding.
Yes.
So, and of course, we were living in the building. So we arranged for that Sunday, Father's Day, to have the wedding. I ordered a tent, a company to provide a tent over the area, so just in case there was any inclement weather or something. Well, as it seems, as I say, there was always drama. Wednesday, it's raining and pouring, and the tent blows off.
Oh, no.
It completely blows off from the wind. It's just a storm in New York. Every day it's raining and storming and the wind blowing crazy. He puts the tent up again on a Friday morning. And by Friday evening, the tent is gone again. Blown off, blown to pieces.
Oh, my goodness.
He calls me on the phone. He says, Mr. Morrow, look, I'm not going to charge you for the tent. He says, but I'm not putting it up again. Good luck. Good luck. Now, speaking of good luck and drama, we awake Sunday. I didn't tell Jerry because I know she'd go crazy if I said they're not putting the tent up. She was, so I didn't tell Jerry. Sunday morning, we wake up to bright sunshine. Just beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful day. So we had our wedding on that Sunday in the outdoors, about 100 guests, beautiful gazebo, all white chairs lined up. It was a lovely, lovely wedding. So again, there's always some drama. Now, we're married probably about 3 or 4 years, and we traveled a lot, and we're on a flight to Tokyo. So we're living in New York. So New York to Tokyo is flight 17 on Northwest Orient Airlines, which no longer exists. And some of you older folks might remember Northwest Orient Airlines.
I remember. Yep.
And we're sitting in row 3, A and B in first class. And I always come up with something. For some reason, my mind is constantly trying to produce something. That's why the charities we had all these
very creative,
wild stuff, right?
Very creative.
So I tell Jerry, I said, I'm going to go for a little walk. I go up, the 747 had 2 decks. So I walk up to the top deck where the pilots are. And in those days, the door was open in those days.
Right.
And I said to the pilot, I said, excuse me, can I talk to you? And there were 3 pilots, by the way. One was, quote, a Czech pilot, 2 pilots and a Czech supervisory pilot. He comes out, his name was Captain Lewis, still remember it. And I said, he said, yes, can I help you? I said, yes. I said, I would like you to marry us, my wife. He says, marry you? He says, you're wearing a wedding ring. I said, I know, but we just like to do it. So I said, you're the captain. I said, you're the captain of the ship. I said, you can do anything you want. You can arrest people. You can marry people. And he starts smiling and laughing. He says, you're right. I'll do it.
You talked him into
it. At first, he was like, what are you talking about? And then he said, okay, I'll do it.
Oh, that's funny.
What seats you? I told him the number of the seats. He says, I will come back to you in a few hours once we're really out. I said, okay. So several hours pass. We're now over the Aleutian Islands, from New York over the polar route. And he comes over to the seats. He says, Mr. and Mrs. Morrow. And Jerry looks up. She has no idea what's going on.
What a surprise.
Would you come with me, please? Come with me, please.
Goodness.
Now they open up the curtain to the galley in the first class, and they had produced a wedding area. They put flowers all over the place. They had
Wow.
the stewardess, they called them stewardesses in those days, had little floral wreaths around their heads and kind of nosegays.
Oh my
And
goodness.
they made
Wow.
a wedding out of it. And Jerry starts laughing out loud because she had no idea what's going on. And Captain Lewis, who I talked into it, ended up writing a sermon, a whole page, which I have,
Wow.
with a ceremony. Now, the two really good lines from the ceremony that he said, until death do you part, or until your frequent flyer miles run out.
I love it.
Yeah, that was a very good line. And then at the end, he said, instead of the rings, please, he said, the wings, please.
The
And they
wings,
presented
please.
us with two wings, which I still have. I pinned on her, and she pinned on me. And he said, I now pronounce you husband and wife. And the whole first class cabin watching this,
adorable.
cheering and clapping, carrying on. And in those days, first class was first class.
Yeah.
And they started
Yes,
pouring champagne to everybody, and food and fruit. And I mean, it was like a wedding ceremony. That was the first time we had a renewal. The second time, we're in a restaurant downtown Manhattan called the Hudson Bay Club.
Yeah.
I'm happy I'm able to remember these
Yes.
things, right? The Hudson Bay Club, which was all the way down at the end of Manhattan. And we had maybe about 8 or 10 of us. And we're sitting and we're eating everything. And I see this yacht. Because they're all glass windows. The whole front of the place was glass. I see this big yacht out front, docked. And we're coming to dessert. And I said, you know what? I said, come on, Cherry, let's go out and see if this captain will marry us. And everybody said, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? What are you talking about? So did we get up? But half the restaurant followed us out. There had to be 20, 30 people on the
That's
deck.
hysterical. Wow.
And I call up to the captain who's up on maybe the 6th deck or something. I said, hello. I said, excuse me, Captain. He said, he's British. Yes. I said, would you marry us? He said, what are you talking about? I said, well, you're the captain of the ship. You can do whatever you want. Same routine I use with the airline captain, right? And finally, I convinced him. And he says, well, okay, you put the gangplank down, and he said, only the two of you can come up. If anybody else tries to come up, I'm raising. So, okay, two of us go up like 6 stories or something to the top deck. And he said, what do I say? I said, you say power vested in me as captain of the ship. I pronounce you husband and wife. All right. Power vested in me.
This is
husband and wife. And then he added, you may kiss the bride. And everyone's cheering on the dock and carrying on, right. And then they put down the gangplank and we go back down, and everyone's cheering and carrying on.
No wonder Jerry loves him. He's so romantic, isn't he?
I was going to say, what fun this is. You are fun, Frank. That is, it's
Now,
funny. It's so much from the heart. You could see. I mean, it's so spontaneous. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I like special things. I'll get into a few.
That's wonderful.
But
That's so wonderful.
and as I said in the book, happily, the yacht's owner, Carlos Slim, is the richest man in Mexico, and he owns the telephone company in Mexico. And I said, happily, Carlos Slim was not in residence that evening. That's how the captain just said, okay, because the boss wasn't around. Okay.
Imagine it was the yacht of the richest man in Mexico.
My goodness gracious.
And
So that was your second
the last time we were married outside of the original ceremony, for our 25th wedding anniversary, we went to Las Vegas and the Elvis Presley Graceland Chapel.
Love it. Love it.
Oh,
Love
okay.
it.
All right.
And we had about 40 people who came from all over the country, New York, California, Florida, etc. And Elvis pronounced us husband and wife. And he was a good Elvis too. He sang. He had a good voice.
Nice.
And we had a wonderful, wonderful time in the Elvis Chapel for our
Who doesn't love Elvis, right?
25th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
So that
Incredible.
was that was the
Yes.
additional ceremonies. We got married and married and married again.
Do you see
That
how
sounds like
enjoyable?
so much fun.
Yeah, I want the viewers to realize that this is what's related in this wonderful book,
Right.
Some Enchanted Evening. All these experiences and that beautiful, tender love that they share. And the
And that's
anniversary.
why I read it
Very-
twice, you know, the elegance of it all. It really and the reflective, you could see how it reflects on the two of you, and the warmth and the personalization of it all. You just really I highly recommend our viewers, please get the book. And here it is.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit too about how your lives were paralleled growing up, like the basketball. And...
Oh, well, there's a funny thing. Things just kind of happened between the two of us that really, how was that possible? When I played basketball in college, my basketball number was 21. And when I played roulette, I played 21, and it was a number that just had, for whatever reason, importance to me, right? And when first time we went to a casino, there's some great casino stories in the book, right? When I went to a casino, Jerry says, my favorite number is 17, she said, because her daughter's first child was born on the 17th. I said, okay, great. And not only that, but 17, 20, and 21 are joined on the center of the roulette table. So it was an easy bet to bet all around those numbers. 17, fine. That's her number. Okay. A couple of years later, we're going through some old pictures. My high school basketball uniform was number 17.
I'll be darned. How do you like that?
How these things happen, I just don't get it. But
wow.
we're constantly tripping over coincidences and stuff. You know?
Yes.
Meant to be in every which way.
Yeah. And anyway.
In the preface, Frank mentioned the gnocchi ceremony. Can you just briefly tell us about that?
Yeah.
So unusual.
Yeah, the gnocchi ceremony is interesting. Number one, I'll start off by saying, Google it. Anyone can Google it, and it'll tell you on Google exactly what the gnocchi ceremony is. Well, the way we got into it, we were at a wedding in Ez Village, just north of Monte Carlo, in France, obviously. And at that wedding was a psychic from California. And we got friendly and this and that. And she says, you guys do the gnocchi ceremony? And we said, no, what's the gnocchi ceremony?
What is it?
And she said, what is it? And she explained that you, on the 29th of every month, specifically, except, of course, leap year and, other than leap year, and you eat gnocchi for dinner, and there's things you have to do and so on and so forth. But you take a paper currency and you put it under your plate, and after you finish eating, you take that currency and you put it with your money. And every month you give away the one from the month before, and you make a new one, put with your money.
Oh,
that's
interesting.
okay. It's the way it works. Okay. So we said, well, that sounds interesting. Why not? I'll preface this by saying, for 37 or 38 years, we have never missed a 29th.
Wow.
Ever missed a 29th.
That's beautiful.
So we have done it 400 or 500 times or something. And it's just something special that you share. I read an article once that said about couples being happy together. They said tradition has a lot to do with relationships.
Definitely.
And this is a tradition that we do, and we've done it so many times, and we've had so many great experiences. We were in Dallas, Texas, and we asked the concierge for an Italian restaurant that has a gnocchi, and he looked it up and made calls and calls. He finally found one. The guy said, yeah. And they drove us to the restaurant. The address of the restaurant was 2929. You talk about insane possibilities. And when we explained to the owner what we're doing there, he sat down and had the whole meal with us and did the gnocchi with us and comped the meal.
Wow.
We've done gnocchi all over the world. We've always found a place, and it's cited maybe 6-8 times in the book, always found a place that if they didn't have it, made it for us.
Which is, it's unbelievable.
And when we walk into some of the restaurants, they say, "Oh, are you Mr. and Mrs. Gnocchi?" Yes, that's us. Well, sit right down. We're waiting for you. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh, wow.
I believe most of the viewers know that the gnocchi is pasta, an Italian pasta made with potatoes or ricotta. I like the.
I have to have Greg.
Yeah.
Google it. You'll be surprised how much information you get out of it.
Yeah.
And it's obviously for good luck. Let me mention the first time we did it. So we did it in Europe, and we came back home, and the 29th of the month we did it at home. About 2 weeks after the 29th, the first time we did it in the United States, I get a letter in the mail from a finder, a finder of not a state finder, but of
unclaimed funds.
Unclaimed funds finder, right? And I read it, unclaimed funds, and I go into my files to look for what it possibly could be, and the only thing I came down with was, in those days there was a special bank thing for like 3 years and a day. You had like 25% interest. I think it was during Jimmy Carter's time or something, and that and another investment company. So I called up the bank. They said, Bank Leumi, I remember, right? They said, no, that client's been closed years ago. I call up the Rothschild, I think, investment company, whatever it was, and they said, oh yeah, we have an open account. I said, you do? I said, how much is in it? Like $7,200 or something. I said, well, how can I get it? Just come down and sign for it. 2 weeks after our gnocchi, our first time. So you tell me about a gnocchi.
Yes, that should be an incentive for everybody. That's funny.
Wow.
Beautiful. So once again, I want to remind you, Some Enchanted Evening. I love the cover too. Yes, the artwork is wonderful.
Yes.
Yes. And it's
Very
available.
warm, very personal, very.
Wherever you buy books, Amazon. Yeah, it's available on Amazon. And it's really a must read. Everyone should have this in their library.
It really is. I so enjoyed it, Frank. So very much enjoyed it. And it's a tribute to the both of you, the resilience and everything, your love and the strength and everything that you've been together. You could have worded it more beautifully, the way you have written your chapters and the way you describe out of every situation becomes, all right, there's drama, but there's funny times and everything entwines to make it all perfect. It was meant to be from the get-go with the two of you were meant to be, obviously. And it's the way you've honored the both of you through your journey together. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful way that you've honored the two of you, and I love that. And your wife is simply beautiful, and she's deep moving, and so are you. So thank you for creating this book, writing this book, and letting us. I love a good love story, and I'll tell you why. I got teary-eyed. I really did in the beginning. Like, oh my gosh, I had to read this again because you endured so much. You endured so much, and it's wonderful. It's brilliant that you can sit back and say, and look at the amount of years that you've been married. Talk about meant to be. God is good. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
And Frank is a gifted writer. It's
absolutely. You could see that.
First book he wrote, it was at this stage of your life because you're very gifted.
So
maybe he'll write an additional book or two.
That would be wonderful. Do you think you might do that, Frank? You should start that, Frank, because you're a gifted writer, and just the way you speak, and it's fun. Just I could listen to you. I mean, the way you speak about things, you're very, very captivating. So I think you should start another book. Absolutely. What do you think, Jim? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, well, the two of you decide I should write it.
Yes.
One says I don't think so.
No, you keep it up. It's a beautiful, beautiful novel, and congratulations to you and Jerry, to your enduring love to each other and being together and noticing the depth of not just a relationship but a friendship, which is so important.
Yeah.
And the two of you had that from the get-go.
It's been a blessing for me to know Jerry and Frank for 14 years.
I know.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
And we know Jim, and we're very happy we know Jim
Yes.
as well.
Oh, absolutely. And when
And
he said that you were going to be on this show, I couldn't be happier. So we're so thrilled that you were able to join us, Frank, and share your beautiful story, you and Jerry both. Is she there with you?
no.
No, she's working out in the gym. When she heard Jim was coming, she said, Jim, oh, yeah, I'll go work out in the gym.
Got to maintain her girlish figure.
Oh,
Yeah, she's doing great.
Yeah.
She's over that horrible situation.
wonderful.
And we're both doing, knocking on wood,
Yes.
doing fine.
Absolutely.
Jerry looks 200% better than the last time I saw her. So it's
That's a
wonderful.
lot.
Yes. Yes.
That's
we
wonderful.
always
That
end our
does my
shows-
heart a lot of good. I love hearing that.
We always end our shows with the song "What a Difference a Day Makes."
Oh,
You know,
which is so appropriate with your love story.
absolutely.
Because look,
Absolutely.
the day they met at
That's it.
Regine's,
Right.
and their lives are changed forever.
That's correct.
And it's true. And
So-
Jim and I started this show. I don't know if he's told you, Frank, but what a difference a day makes. And that's why it fits in beautifully. Just as it happened with you and Jerry, just a blink of an eye, anything can happen. So we love to end the show. And if you'd like to join us, Frank, by all means. And I have my little tambourine over here. Gotta add
Okay,
some
let's hear the
excitement to
tambourine.
it. Here we go. What a difference.
What a difference a day makes.
24 little hours
Little hours.
brought the
The
sun,
sun
and the flowers
Where there used
to
to
be
be
rain.
rain.
What a
What a
difference.
difference a day makes. And
No difference.
And the difference is Jerry and Frank and Jim
you,
and you and you and you.
and Jerry and Frank and all the viewers.
Woo! What a difference you make. Thank you, Jerry. What a
Thank-
difference.
thank you for
Yes,
having
we
me.
do.
Appreciate it.
Wonderful to have you on the show.
Yes, and we always remind our viewers to keep
Always to keep your
the
horizons bright.
horizons bright.
And please, 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 Enchanted Evening, some Enchanted Evening.
Enchanted evening.
Amazon, buy it,
please.
get it now.
Please share this video with others because I think anyone who sees this will be captivated by Frank's
Yes,
personality. the
And our
beautiful
viewers
story.
would love it. So yes, and believe you me, you'll start. I know with me, I wept quite a bit. It was so wonderfully written, but I started to, and I got emotional. I said, "Okay, Deb, stop." And when I picked it up again, I had to go like this and wave my face. That's how well written it was. So Frank, thank you again.
Yes, the love touches
Thank
your
you.
heart. Yes, definitely. So thank you
Until
all, viewers.
next time,
Keep your horizons bright.
love you all.
Love you all. Bye-bye.